Hello and a wonderful good day. Welcome to another video. Today we've got the Opel again, but luckily nothing to do with the engine. This time we're going to replace the rear brakes, rotors, and pads. This is what they look like from the brand Textar. Buy link and everything's down in the video description, along with the tools. On the rear axle we've got the parking brake and the pistons. You have to screw them in. What model year Opel Astra is that? 2010 85 kilowatt. Opel Astra gasoline. 1.6 gasoline engine. So yeah, long story short, all the important stuff is linked down below, and I'd say let's go. Important. Before you touch the brakes, check the fluid level and, if needed, siphon off a little bit of fluid or so. Drape a rag around it so the brake fluid doesn't spill out, since we're pushing the pistons back in here. That lets fluid flow back into the reservoir. It can still spill out though. And after the repair or replacement, press the brake so the pistons can push out a bit again, and then of course, carefully check the brake fluid level. If you've had brake fluid leak, just rinse it off thoroughly with water. It's very important. Wash brake fluid off only with water. Just so you know, like I have here, because there's a bit too much in it, the buy link for the syringe is also down in the video description. First, we grab a T30 Torx and take this screw out now. It's recommended to tap the whole thing a bit beforehand. Next, we'll just go and grab a 17 and a 13 right away now, okay? And we're going to take the whole thing off here. It's really important to watch for this. This is the handbrake cable. Make sure the lever is fully back against the stop. Don't want you to end up with a problem where maybe your cable's stuck or the caliper lever. It really has to go all the way up to the stop. Please make sure of that it's actually the case. And one more very important thing, that these guide pins move quite freely too. And now that has to be free moving too. The dust boots have to be intact, of course. And now we can use a screwdriver to pry the whole thing out once. Like that. So, blocks. Everything's pretty rotten here. So, in this case, the sheet metal panels are new. They're included in the kit. Next, we'll unbolt the fork with two E18 Torx. Let's try an impact wrench with an extension. It's really important to check that this boot is okay. Also, lift it up and look underneath. Don't want too much rust there. And yeah, then we'll turn the piston back one single time. Let's just take the right tool for this. In this case, you turn the piston to the right, because the set includes left and right-hand turners. So, let's put this on properly. It's really important that the piston can be turned back very easily. The first step is always a bit That's a bit trickier, but then we mustn't turn the whole thing back with too much force. Because of course, we're pressing on the brake, the piston pushes out, and if it doesn't retract, our pads will automatically start rubbing. Yeah, it's a little stiffer. Let's just see if it shows up in a minute. Of course it depends. Ah, it's working now. Some people also make the mistake when turning. They push so hard that the brake hose kinks. You've got to watch that too, and make sure the threaded rod is properly and completely straight, because sometimes it's just crooked and turns really hard. That's it. Now you need to watch for this. There are brake pads, and they have these little dots. And it's important that the piston is in the right position so the dots line up very precisely and evenly. It doesn't matter, we have no dots, so piston position's irrelevant. But there are saddles where it matters how the piston sits. And what often happens is, because you position the piston wrong, the mark sticks out, the block sits crooked, and that's not right. Very dangerous. Please watch out for that, then. Before we put everything back together, make sure to clean these surfaces here really, really well. Grease everything. Put the new pads on, grease with a long-lasting lubricant or something from Textar. Buy link is down in the video description. There's special grease we can use so it doesn't burn off when the brake heats up and leave the pads dry. So pull out the guide pins, grease them, clean them. Same up here, they need to be very smooth and free-moving and operate without sticking, ensuring they slide easily under pressure. Because the pads wear down and the caliper moves closer and closer. And if that's stuck, then it won't brake well anymore, not properly. That also has to be spot on. Let's clean the whole thing up. Clean it. Give the whole thing a shot of spray lube to lubricate it. And then we'll tighten the screw. Unfortunately, there weren't any new ones included. The screw doesn't get much torque anyway, it's mostly held in by the wheel studs. It won't just disappear. And then we will put the fork on it. Super important. Before we put the pads on, since we got grease on the brake disc with the fork, properly and thoroughly degrease everything before fitting the pads. Okay, and once we've done that, important about the pads. There's a thin protective film on them, so peel that off. Many people leave it on because there's an adhesive layer here and it's there so the pads stick to the saddle so they can be removed. So when the saddle comes loose, they pretty much entirely come clean off with the piston itself and don't. At idle, basically. Actually end up rubbing against the disc. That's it, all the way in. On the other pad, the same thing. That one gets taken off, and the one with the wear indicator we put to the inside, not to the outside. And then we can put the caliper back on. New screws were included, yes. And then we'll tighten the whole thing up. Yeah, guys, so that's basically what it looks like when you want to change the brakes. And yeah, I think all the important stuff's already been said. If anything comes to mind, feel free to write it down in the comments below. And yeah, just a short, simple video if you know what you're doing. And if you want to try this yourself, definitely have someone with experience help you out. Otherwise, just keep this as an easy to follow how-to to watch. And I'd say if you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and support the channel. Bye for now.